Tubers. I figured I'd make a quick video with an update to my Savage here. And a little discussion on YouTube and RC, as RC relates to YouTube and YouTube channels. Well, you all saw the video of the dual exhaust, which, excuse my mess, but it's up there. I took it off the Savage. So I noticed when I did run it, it was running lean, and I kept richening it up, and it didn't seem to care. It kept running lean. And from all the comments on the Facebook group, people who know more about nitro than I do, they said it would not tune well. And I believe them. So I took the dual exhaust off, and I put this pipe back on. This came with the parts truck, and it was all gooey and black, so I used a wire wheel, and I cleaned it up. I think it looks pretty good. A lot better than it did anyways. And so you can see I have that pipe as well. This one here. This one came on the Savage. I think that's like a really old school Savage pipe. Or it could be from a pipe from a different car. I don't know. But I'm going to guess and say it's a really old school Savage pipe from maybe 20 years ago. I opted for this one. I didn't really notice much of a difference, but I know last time I had this pipe on here, this thing seemed mean. So maybe this pipe did seem a little bit better than that one. If anyone has any experience in knowing that smooth pipe right there, let me show you. This pipe, do any of you know anything about these? You can see that's from it crashing. But any of you know anything about these exhaust pipes? If you think that smooth pipe was better than this one, or if this one's better than that one, you tell me what you think. I like your opinions. Because I'm just learning about this stuff here. And I keep figuring it out. And as I learn it and figure it out, I share my knowledge with you guys. Yeah, and I put that diff from the parts truck in here. And this is the diff I took out of it. Really gooey. Nasty. And the diff that came out of the parts truck was a metal diff. So I used that one, but when I took it apart to add fluid to it, it had grease inside and no O-rings. So there's no way the grease or oil or anything was going to stay in there. So I don't know if it came with O-rings, if that's the way they came, with a metal diff and no O-rings. You know, the diff case was metal. If they came without O-rings, or did someone rebuild it and not put O-rings back into it? I have no idea. I'm going to take a wild guess and just say it didn't come with O-rings and it came with grease instead of oil. So I found O-rings and I put O-rings in it and put diff oil in it. And I put the updated 9 by 29 pinion gear and ring gear inside the front diff, so the front and rear diff will match now. But it's like very, very cold outside. It's dark out. I guess you're not really going to be able to see out there. But if you can see at all, you can see the snow outside. Only like 2 inches, but it's really cold. About 20 degrees outside, and it gets up into the low 30s during the day. So for me, it's just too cold for RCs. So it's all fixed, but I can't test her out because it's too cold. Maybe we'll get a warm day and I'll be able to test her out. But at this moment, it's way too cold. Oh, I can't. I have to change the spur gear too. I just remembered about that. I have that metal spur gear on the other tranny that came out of it. That's a 51 tooth, I believe. It's a little more teeth than I'd like. I'd rather have, that's a 48 tooth in there. And when this came, it came with a 46 tooth. So I'd like to keep the tooth count low so you don't lose as much speed. But I don't know. Maybe I'll put that one in there for now. We'll see. But yeah, you can see I got the parts car all apart because I used parts off of it. Again, when I was pulling this apart, there's this plate right here. If it'll focus. Come on, camera. There you go. See how it's kind of oblonged out? It won't focus well. There it goes. But it's actually cracked too. So that piece is damaged. And one of the pins was bent. And the control arm was bent. I had to take a big pair of pliers and kind of tweak this back into shape. So the pin would go back through it. And I used to pin one of these off the parts truck because it was bent. Not even sure what I did with the bent one. But yeah, so this parts car has been coming in handy. Of course, the chassis plates came with it, and that exhaust, and that gearbox came with the parts car, because that's what they call a top loader. And that one is one of the old original ones, and I guess it doesn't come apart without splitting the whole case into two. So you can't do nothing with it unless you take it out of the car. I guess these, you can access them without taking it out of the car. That's what I was told anyways. I'm not really sure, but I noticed the difference was, if you look on the side, you can see right there, there's 3 little holes. And on this transmission, where is it? Right there. There's only 2 holes. So this is a really old transmission. It still works. It's just that wobble. It's got that bent shaft. You guys see that? It's got a little bit of a wobble to it. If you guys can see that, it's got a little bit of a wobble to it. I think I made it a little bit better, but I was trying to straighten it out with a huge pair of pliers, and I just couldn't get it to straighten out. Just didn't want to cooperate with me. So I used the parts rig one, and that thing's, the shift gears mint. This one always wanted to shift a little bit early, but this one shifts mint. So I'm quite happy with this parts car. The parts are coming in handy. I kind of knew it would. I mean, my truck is old. So, you know, every time you work on it, you find more things wrong with it because it's just so old. Excuse me, I'm burping here. And it had those little rubber tails on the exhaust, but they were a little bit smaller than the exhaust pipe, so I think it was choking off my exhaust. So this came on it. I stuck it on there. Hopefully it will help send the fuel straight down and not all over the car. You guys can see that. But of course, it's like I said, it's too cold. I can't really test it, and I do need to bathe this thing. It is filthy. I usually don't let my cars get this dirty. See all that dirt? Ugh. I still got fuel in there. I gotta suck the rest of the fuel in there. Out of there, because I don't usually leave fuel in my cars either. So yeah, I'll be sucking the fuel out of there probably tomorrow or tonight or something. But I wanted to ask you guys if you've noticed about the talk on YouTube about YouTube not paying YouTubers much anymore, and they're putting like odd advertisements onto the RC channels that don't have anything to do with RC. And they said that, I heard one YouTuber, at least one, say that that's because it's dying. Like the RC community on YouTube is dying. And so the advertisers don't want to advertise because I guess there's nothing to sell. I don't know. I don't get it. But they were saying it's dying. And that YouTube, the RC channels on YouTube are dying. And that how do I put it? RC YouTubers are not getting paid like they used to. Now, I don't get paid nothing, so I don't know. I don't really know for sure, but I wanted you guys to tell me what you thought. Do you think the RC community is dying on YouTube? Or do you think it's just because they're just throwing commercials everywhere on anything that have nothing to do with... Like, I was watching a video today on a mechanic show. They were, working on a transmission, and an advertisement came up for pull-ups. It had nothing to do with mechanical stuff. Had nothing to do with anything I watch, but it was a pull-ups for little kids. I don't even have little kids that would use pull-ups, but that odd commercial just came on, and I think that's kind of the type of thing they're talking about. I think it's just random, and I don't really think the RC community is dying on YouTube. I think YouTube may be having some advertisement issues, but I don't think it has anything to do with the RC community at large. So you guys tell me what you think, and do you think that the RC community is dying on YouTube, or do you think there's just too many YouTubers out there, or what? Maybe it's a YouTube problem. Maybe it's an algorithm problem. I don't know. Would you guys know? I'm kind of curious. Do you guys think that the RC community is dying on YouTube? Or is YouTube dying? I hope not. I love YouTube. For watching YouTube and for making videos on YouTube, all around, I just love YouTube. It's been good to me, and it's been good to a lot of people. I do admit YouTube has its issues. And YouTube did get sued for recording information on children, of all things, which that happened like 2 years ago. And then YouTube changed, and they added a question when you publish a video, is this for kids or not? And that was the reason they added that, was because they got sued for recording information on children. And if you put, yes, it's for kids, then you cannot have comments on your videos. And I believe you cannot monetize a video that's for kids as well. A lot of YouTubers are saying if you have kids in your videos, they're getting demonetized because there's kids in it. I think it's YouTube punishing people for the mistakes that YouTube did. But you guys tell me what you think. And this is just my quick video, my quick update, and a few questions on YouTube and RC community at large. Do you guys think the RC is dying on YouTube? Y'all stay confident but humble. And I say that because you need to stay confident no matter what the devil tells you. You are precious to God. Never forget that. We were made in the image of God. We are precious to him. So you stay confident, but with that confidence, stay humble. Because if you can easily think, people can get big heads and they think that they're better than everyone else. So I always say, stay confident but humble. So if you stay confident but humble, you cannot lose. So stay confident but humble. Peace, my peeps.